All right, the third time wasn't a charm. Fourth is going to be it. I'm going to quit after this one. August 27th was a very interesting day once I got to Catavedo. Walking through the town, it's a small village, a pueblo. Uh, there were people taking down a variety of decorations from the light poles. And as I passed all the way through the town, I got to what I expected was the municipal albergue, a small, not very prepossessing white building that appeared to be a garage of some kind on the first floor, with living quarters up above. I found a stairway behind the building. As I climbed it, I saw that there were tents pitched in the backyard, and when I got to the porch on the top of it, I could see that through a glass type door that there was a young woman inside. We'll call her La Chica, young woman inside cleaning. I tapped on the door and she answered. I said, is this the albergue in my very best Spanish? And I got the impression from her answer that no, this is not where you're looking for. So I left, did some other scouting around, finally ended up going back into Catavedo and encountered a woman who seemed reasonably friendly. I asked her, I said, I'm looking for the albergue. And she said, oh, it is right behind this restaurant where we were standing. I walked down the path toward the albergue, and there was this nice looking building. There were two people sitting in front of it. I thought, well, at least two people have found their place. And this was Casio and Ariane. As I approached the place, they said, hey, place is closed until 4 o'clock or whatever it was. We're just resting here waiting for the person to come back so we can check in. You might as well join us. They were eating. They had quite a spread of food. I had just a little bit with me. And so quite gratefully, I accepted their hospitality, and we sat there and talked for a bit. After a little while, Casio decided that he really wanted to know more about the municipal albergue. This one was commercial, and consequently it was going to cost more. So he finally imposed upon Ariane to take her electric bike, his battery was dead, to go to the municipal albergue and find out whether it was open, whether they had room. She called a few minutes later on Casio's phone and said, yes, it's here. So the two of us saddled up and went to the municipal albergue, which was, despite what I thought I had been told, the municipal albergue. We walked in, there was nobody around. La Chica was no longer in evidence, but someone had left a note saying they would be back by whatever it was, 3 o'clock. In the meantime, we looked around. It was clearly an albergue. The room that La Chica had been cleaning was a combination kitchen, dining, communal area. There were two bunk rooms, each one with 4 bunk beds, two and two. And we waited for a bit, looked at the note, and Casio and Ariane decided that they would bring their gear inside. Since I already had my gear, I was carrying it all on my back, mine was already inside. After a bit further, Casio decided he would shower. And after a little longer, Ariane showered as well. This was a standard small bathroom, presidential bathroom. A toilet, a small sink, a tub shower combination that looked like it had last been replaced in the 1950s. It was not just that design, it was that worn and deteriorated. After a little bit more time had passed, Ariane and Casio decided to go visit the town, look around, and I decided to go ahead and shower myself. I continued to wait, wanting to get checked in, but finally I was in the process of writing a note saying that I would be back and that here was the $5 or €5 or €8, whatever it was, fee for the night. when an older woman, mature, arrived. We'll call her La Mama. Uh, this woman arrived, and she was in considerable distress. What's going on here? What is happening? Where there's equipment here. Why are the tents still up in the back? I couldn't follow it all because she was speaking strictly Spanish, but I could get the fact that she was very unhappy to see me just sitting there and to find a lot of other stuff apparently there. I tried very hard to explain that I and my new friends wanted to check in, that they had left their equipment, but I'd be glad to pay their fee, and they would be back in a little while. And she went off and took all the tents down in the backyard, and was ready to take Casio and Ariane's equipment out and get rid of it, I guess. When I finally got her to understand that this note had been left, and we, in complete innocence, had been trying to comply. And I offered to check in. Meanwhile, she was making a phone call and busying herself quite unhappily. And a few minutes later, La Chica arrived. La Mama proceeded to read La Chica, the Riot Act. I didn't have to speak real good Spanish to know a riot act when I'm hearing it. La Chica was in full dudgeon. You have to have had a 14-year-old daughter to fully appreciate the outrage that came with her expecting to be able to spend the fiesta with her friends, and this albergue was not the top priority. Uh, this went on for some time, and it was incredibly entertaining. But finally, La Chica went and got her stamps and things, and took my 5 or 8 euros, and checked my passport and checked my Camino credential and signed me in. And La Mama calmed down substantially at that point, and they decided that it was made clear that Casio and Ariane were coming back. There was no need to throw away their food. This was not something that had been abandoned by the guests of last night. So, feeling that things were reasonably under control, I left to explore the town and go to the grocery, uh, which was half a mile away. And as I was on my way there, I encountered Ariane and Casio and told them what was going on. So when I got back to the albergue with my groceries, so that I could be a reasonably equal participant in our evening dinner, uh, they were all fully registered. La Mama was entirely happy. La Chica was running around the albergue doing one thing and another, downstairs, upstairs, in the back, apparently with quite a few chores. Eventually, even she calmed down. La Mama became quite friendly with Casio and Ariane, both of them speaking excellent Spanish, with me trying to interpret the words here and there to keep track of what was going on. It was an outstanding afternoon that ended beautifully with a very nice dinner. Casio and Ariane and I sitting around the table in this 1950s kitchen, uh, having some food and some wine, and talking and telling stories. They spoke excellent English, so I was able to enjoy that companionship. We practiced my Spanish a bit, and a really fine time was had by all, with the possible exception of La Chica, who I don't think ever did get to go hang out with her friends.